We all know that money is actually alive and it's running away from us overnight. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any rational explanation why you're not wealthy, right? And that's why today we are going to talk about how to create wealth on any income. I know that it can really feel like that your money is running away from you. I was there and I know there is never more money in your banking account than you expect. There is never anything substantial left at the end of the month, what you could use to save or use to create wealth. And it always feels like I need to make more money in order to not be back to zero before the next paycheck. I've been there and I know how it feels to sell your beloved guitar to make ends meet. But I also did my homework and got out of that dark financial place. And I will tell you about the same tip that I use to gain massive control over my creation of wealth and my spendings without earning a single dollar more. So guys, before we start, write me a quick comment below what you've done to scrape by. I would love to know. So let's start. Creating wealth on any income means that making more money isn't an option. So the only option left is to save more. And some of you might already know the great trick to calculate your hourly wage. And then ask yourself whenever you want to buy anything non-essential, is it worth my time? Here is a quick example. Let's say you've calculated that you get $10 an hour as your net wage. Net, not gross. This is very important. And let's say you want that $1,000 TV. You divide the $1,000 TV by $10 net and then you will know that you will need to work 100 hours for that TV. And then you can ask yourself, do I want to work 100 hours, meaning 2.5 weeks solely for that TV? If the answer is yes, you buy it. If the answer is no, you don't buy it. Very simple but very effective. There are people who gain control over their finances and get wealthy solely by using this technique. And if you don't already use this technique right now, make sure to make this a habit in the future, because it really is essential to create wealth. But in order to really skyrocket your savings and get unbelievable results, it is important to evolve and refine this technique. I and my mastermind group call this technique your net hourly wage. Even though this term technically isn't 100% correct, it is a term that has caught on, so I'm going with it. It basically means to calculate your net hourly wage after the subtraction of your fixed monthly expenses. Easy. You do this to get an even more realistic number you can then use to compare against the thing you want to buy. This is absolutely necessary, and this is where so many people fail, because you're not actually getting to keep 100% of your net hourly wage, because you already have spent some of it on contracts like rent and can't really spend it elsewhere. Think about it, you've signed contracts and therefore promised people like your landlord that they will get a portion of your net hourly wage each month. And you can't spend this money twice because it is already gone. Nor should you use it to lie to yourself that you have it left to buy your new TV. And this will drastically change your view on your spendings and make it more realistic. So how do you do this? Let's pretend you get a net salary of $1,600 a month. By the way, that would be a net hourly wage of $10 if you work for 40 hours a week. Now you have to simply subtract all your fixed costs from your net salary. Just think of all expenses that you have to pay and sign the contract. These are things like rent, car payments, data, internet, insurances, all that stuff. This can differ immensely from person to person, because people either tend to pay for a lot of stuff by installments or they tend to avoid paying by installments. I recommend to avoid it if possible, by the way. So let's say your fixed monthly expenses are already $1,300, which isn't unrealistic for many. Now you just have to subtract these $1,300 from your $1,600 and you get $300. Think about these $1,300 as if they are already gone, because you can't spend your money for your rent twice. And you also shouldn't put it in there if you want to know how long you will have to work for that new TV. So what's left are $300. So to calculate your net hourly wage, you have to divide this by 160. Because if you work for 40 hours a week, you work 160 hours a month. And boom, you got your net hourly wage of $1.88. This may shock you at first, but you will get used to it, believe me. This means to buy that new $1,000 TV, you will need to work for 532 hours, which are roughly 3 months and 10 days. Again, this might be shocking at first, but once you have tried it, you won't want to stop using it because it works so nicely, believe me. And think about it, this isn't about psychologically tricking yourself into spending less. It is about being more realistic. My net hourly wage actually was the $1.88 that I used in the example. So what's your net hourly wage? Can you undercut me? Let me know in the comments below. Also share this video, guys, more people need to know this. Thanks a lot for watching and subscribe to Minion No More for more. Thanks, guys.